When you think about the first time we met, what do you remember feeling?
Like, you're someone that I met off Facebook and it's like, oh, I just got in your car. It's like, I don't know, like I automatically felt like safe around you, like I can trust you. The only awkward thing about it was we came in with different intentions.
What do you mean?
Like I didn't think anything was gonna happen between us. I was just like, oh, okay, we're gonna go out for a few drinks.
No, we had the same intention that
No.
we're both honest when we said, I did not think we were gonna do anything that night.
No, I didn't think so either. I don't know. How do you describe our relationship to others?
It's the best of times, it's the worst of times. So I don't tell everybody all the details of everything, but my friends know that it's amazing. They know that we are like very similar. We have all the same interests for the most part, and like we hit it off on a lot of things. But they also know when it's bad, it's like super bad, and like I don't know how to, handle it like all the time. But how do you describe it to other people?
I mean, I don't really give a lot of information out to other people because it just feels like people just want to know about your business. Like if someone comes up to me with like genuine care asking how our relationship is going or like, about you or pre, it's like I'll talk to them, but me, I'm not really like open at times, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't tell random people our business. I'm talking about like my couple best friends.
I hope not.
Of course not. When do you feel the closest to me?
I feel the closest to you when you're vulnerable to me. Like the other night when we were at Dave & Buster's waiting for Pre, we were in the car talking about like your childhood and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you putting down that wall like helps me get closer to you.
I feel like I'm always pretty vulnerable with you though. I'm always hoping that you reciprocate it more, and you do sometimes, but
Yeah, I could do better. It's okay. What is something you still don't understand about me?
You want a list? I mean, that's one thing. Like, I don't. To me, it doesn't make sense how I do a lot, and I know you know that. Like, I'm not talking about traveling or like things like that. I'm just talking about the hours and hours and hours that we've spent so many times, like just talking and like working through stuff. Like, I don't get why. Like, I don't get how I can give you all of that time and attention, like, and because you do, I know you get value from it, because when we have those times, like, you do open up and like we chip away at the ice a little bit more, but I don't get how you can get all that from somebody and not be a little bit faster in like your reciprocation. Like you say, like you do certain things or whatever for like, because that's how you show love, but it's like, my love languages, what was gonna make me feel that you care about me. You don't do those things sometime? Why?
I guess.
I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like, we have these conversations, but like...
It's not gonna make me cry.
Yeah, or cry then. Or you can if you want.
I don't know. It's like, it's nothing I have an excuse for. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to talk.
How do you think other relationships are affecting how do you think my other relationships are affecting our relationship? I'm guessing like relationship with Pre.
If it's referring to Pre, I don't think it affects us in any way. Like when I see like you and Pre together, like it makes me extremely happy. Like, even if me and you, we do spend a little more time together than all three of us together. So it's like, even if me and you are in bed and Pre comes home and like you hug her and you kiss her, like seeing that makes me happy. So it's like, if anything, I think it makes like our relationship better, because it's like, it brings me to just like, okay, like that's what they both like. It gets me a better understanding of you two, but it doesn't affect it in a bad way. When is the last time you considered ending this relationship, and why didn't you?
For Pre, I mean, I consider ending it with both of you guys, like, just like, not consider like, all right, damn, I'm gonna do it. But the very last time was like a week ago when you guys are both like, I forgot what happened, but there was somewhere you guys were like both against me, and I'm just like, it was just in general, like, I don't know if I should be in a relationship, like, is that what's most conducive for my personal growth? So I was thinking about that, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna persevere, I'm gonna have patience, and everything's gonna be better, and then you're gonna be amazing for it, and then everything is just gonna spiral up because of that. Like I'm waiting for the day where like we don't have dumb fights anymore, or just dumb issues, and then you're like, all right, wow, like he really stuck by me through all this shit, like while I was cleaning up my mess, and but yeah, I mean, obviously, like you already know too, I talk about, I'm like, you know, it's getting tiring, but like I don't seriously think about like, all right, this is it, you know. What about you?
I think it was that night.
That's the last time?
Well, no, I mean, I've always had like my doubts, but it was just more of like, you know, I'm still young and I'm still a little more naive than you guys. So it's kind of just like me having to, I mean, I never had like any big things that I wanted to do in life. Like, you know, it was always more simple. It's like, all right, I want to be a chef. Like, I want to open up my own restaurant. I want to be able to like go to culinary school. Those were the things. And it's like, I never thought too far ahead because it's like, I never saw a reason to get like expectations up, you know? But for me to join this relationship and having to set what I want to do aside so I can fit yours and Pri's agenda was like tough. So it's like, I think that's something that like always goes in my head, I guess you can say. But it's nothing that's just like, you know, you guys push me to grow and you guys push me to like the things you guys involve me in make sense. So I guess that's why I put so much trust in you guys. Yeah.
Do you think that it would have been different if it was just you and me? Because even when you get mad or like we're in a disagreement about something that I want to do or just something I believe in, it's like you automatically lump Pri into it as if it's like, well, yeah, your goals are her goals. It's like, you know, like, oh, this is what you guys want to do. And then so I was wondering if it's like, if that makes it harder because you feel that you don't have as much like leeway to like, all right, well, no, I don't care about Canada much. I don't want to move there. Like just different things.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, it's like, it's not necessarily that I feel like it doesn't matter, but it's like, even if I decided that I didn't want to move, you guys will go there regardless. So it's kind of just like, it's not me putting what I want to do to the side to please you guys. It's just you guys are opening my mind to something new. It's like, I never thought of myself moving to California. And then when me and Pri went, I was like, fuck, I love this place. Like, of course, I wouldn't personally live there for a long time, but it's like, yeah, I would definitely live here for like a short while and experience it a little more, you know?
So it helps to have Pri in the relationship to help you like just explore new things like that, or it's
kind of, because she eases me into it a little better.
But like, do you really feel that I don't take the time and like really seek to understand you, and all those hours that we spend like really trying to uncover your needs and like getting you to...
I mean, no, yeah, of course. I'm just saying, like, in situations like when we travel or if we have a bigger plan to do something. Like, I'm just saying in that sense.
Do you really appreciate that though? Do you really acknowledge that in me? Because sometimes you say like, oh, you don't listen to me, but it's like, dude, like, come on.
No, it's just like, when I try to get my point across, you do kind of twist my words sometimes. Yeah, you do. Don't do that. So it's kind of just like makes me more like hesitant to talk sometimes. But it's like I do know that like you're listening, but it's not like you're not listening to just like have a response. You're listening to like understand. And that makes me like comfortable because, you know, I was always the listener, so it's like I never had anybody to listen to me. So
I mean, that's why, like, that's just one thing that like I do that for you, because like, just like you already know, like, I don't tolerate shit with Pri, and she knows. She's like, how do you tolerate all this with Pam? Like, you would never accept that from anybody, and that is true. But like, I do take.
Well, I just think it's because we're so similar. So it's like, you know, you see once I get past this.
I do. Like, I feel like you have the same. Like, we are both gonna grow in the same direction, but I take that extra time with you because I feel like I just empathize with not having learned certain things or not having exposure to certain people and whatever, being young. So it's like I'm happy to be able to provide that to you. And it's not even just a selfish thing, but I am happy that I can be that person, because I know when you get through that. But like, sometimes I just feel like you really don't. Yeah, I just feel like you don't appreciate it all the time, especially when you're mad. It's like, you know, but I hope you do.
Well, yeah, because I need my space. It's like, leave me alone for a second. Let me breathe. I can't talk with emotions. You know that.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Because I'm going to say mean things.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think it's your card.
How would our relationship be different if it was just us?
I mean, honestly, I don't think we would have been together if it was just us. Like, cause, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it because I think I would have just not been so patient. I think I would have like cut things off quicker, but it's because like, you know, Pre's happy too, and it's like everything like we're doing together, it's just like a joint thing where it's like we're all, I don't know, there's just more glue to keep the relationship together. I feel like I'm the type of person that in a toxic relationship before, which is why I was single for a long time and I cut people off quick, is if it's toxic, I'm not gonna stay in that. Yeah. So I think I would have gotten like sick of like bullshit before and not gave you as much like time to fix things. What about you?
Oh no, I don't think we would ever make it.
Why?
Just because, like, the things that, like, Pre has dealt with you, especially when it came to, like, other women, like, I would never be able to put up with that. Because I'm the kind of person that's like, all right, we can have an open relationship, but it's just you, in my opinion, you did go a little too far with some of the things that you were doing. And it's just like, even though Pre was okay with it and, like, you know, she didn't really care for it, I feel like I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Well, when you say too far, you mean like fucking certain exes, or like what do you?
Well, that too. Spending a lot of time at other women's houses, like, you know, like even that time when we were open in the beginning of the relationship, and you went out on the date with that girl from Tinder, and you were supposed to hang out with me. Like, I was like extremely pissed that night, you know. Then later on, you told me like you guys did hook up, and it's like, all right, we're in an open relationship, but it's like before you told me you didn't, and now you're telling me you did. Like, I don't like that. You know, I don't like one thing and then a couple months later, like the truth finally comes out.
Well, I mean, just for the sake of I'm not a liar, that we did not fuck the first time. We hung out again. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Well, that's not something I'm hiding. I promise.
Well, no. But the thing is, it's like, you know, I already told you. It's like, don't tell me anything unless I ask. But it's like, you told me you weren't in contact with her. You told me you guys only hung out that one time. So it's kind of just like when things switches up, it's like, I don't think me and you will ever be able to last in a relationship.
But that's weird though. You said you wouldn't have accepted the stuff that pre-accepted, but like when we met and stuff, like, you know, you said you had a poly experience before. You said you're like pansexual and all this or whatever. So like, why would that not have worked out if it was just us?
Because you do kind of take it to the extreme. Like,
what do you mean by that?
Just by being like around women. Like when you told me your body count, like I was like extremely surprised. I was like, fuck, like gotta get myself checked now. So it's kind of just like, I don't know. I don't think it'll work. Especially because Pre's like your mellow side. Like she helps you calm down. Like
I think we would have been destructive to each other.
Yeah.
Like Pre is a balance for us to like, and it's kind of bad sometimes too. I mean, those are reasons why I also question the relationship before, is because it's like when we fight, it's like I take the time to make sure I don't like dump stuff on you, even though honestly sometimes it's deserving. I'm like, I'm not going to put this on you because that's not the best option to help you through what we're working on. So then I'm passive aggressive with Pre or whatever, and it's like, damn, like that kind of sucks that she's like not the scapegoat for it, but it's like she gets extra shit because we are crazy with each other, and then we come home and then she's just there to get burned a little bit.
Yeah.
My turn, right?
Yeah, your turn.
What would make you leave me?
I don't know. I feel like there's like a couple of things.
You're like, which one do I pick?
Yeah. I mean, definitely if you ever cheated on me, that's something I will never be able to like forgive, especially because you're open. So it's kind of just like, if you were to ever come up to me and tell me like, there's this woman that I'm interested in, do you mind if I go on a date with her, and whatever happens, happens. Like, I feel like I would say yes to that because of you asking me, like, like you respecting my emotions. So it's like, if you were to ever cheat on me, I think that would be like the line of like, all right, well, this is clearly over. Because I don't know, there's just like so many like things into that, and that's something like I never tolerated.
How do you say though that like you said if I met somebody that I wanted to hook up with and I just asked you about it would be fine? When we've had these conversations, and like more recently we just started talking about it again for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know, I always feel like it's like hot and cold with you. Like you switch up on like what you need.
I mean, because eventually like that's something that I do feel comfortable with. but it's just right now I don't.
So if you don't feel comfortable right now, why do you say it would be a possibility if I came to you and was like, oh, I want to do this?
Well, because we're still like currently working on a lot.
Mm.
So it's kind of just like, all right, why bring another person who's new to these 3 different types of personalities, and then a problem arises and it's just like, you know, like, I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable with that person knowing our business, because, you know, even though sometimes like I do have my moments where I do talk a lot to like my close friends, it's like I am private for the most part. Mm. So it's kind of just like, I don't know how I feel about someone else, like me having to be vulnerable to someone else. So it's like, until I feel like I break that barrier, like, you know, with me like going to therapy and like doing those steps to like help me, I won't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Like, if you can't even fully tear down your walls with me, how are you gonna do it with another person? Yeah. But I also feel like that's like, that seems like a non-factor to me, because if we are dating and exploring girls together, however that may be, you know, I would meet a girl and then, you know, introduce her after, whatever. I don't know how that would go with us. Like, it's a whole new dynamic now, yeah. But I don't think that would be like a big reason. It just doesn't make sense to me sometime about like what you mean or what you're looking for to say like, yes, I do want this, but I don't want it yet. Like, to me, it's like an oxymoron, but like, I feel where you're coming from. I just don't fully understand it.
No, it's to sum it all up, it's just me not being able to mentally prepare myself for it. Because it's kind of just like, all right, eventually, like, you know, I do want like a close group of girlfriends, and, you know, it would make it even better if they were my girlfriends. So it's kind of just like, I know you and Pri are open to adding more people in this relationship. And that's something that I've always thought about when I entered. It's just, all right, let me see how secure I am in the relationship. That's why I feel like me doing these steps, like even going to therapy or like helping out with certain things, like help us move forward. So it's kind of just like, but the thing is just me doing that.
Are you only like saying like, oh yeah, that would be cool because you know that's how me and Pri were like viewing things before? Like, yeah. Do you feel that you only even think about that because you know that it's something that we previously spoke about, or is that something that you thought about prior to meeting me?
I've thought about that before, because like it's funny because I told myself when I broke up with my last ex-boyfriend, I was like, I'm only gonna step into my next relationship if it's an open relationship. And it's like, even when we were open, it's like I didn't go hook up with other people because, you know, like I wanted to get to know you guys better. It's like, when I devote my time to you, I'm gonna devote all my time to you. It's like, why am I gonna worry about this other person? You know, like, they're completely irrelevant. I could care less about them, you know? So it's kind of just like, I don't know where I was going with this.
Well, I was asking like about the even more girlfriends and stuff like that. Like, is that something that you actually entertain
The only
prior?
thing that I feel like would be tough is because, I mean, you're a lot more sexual than me, but you know me, like I have my needs. So it's kind of just like, the only thing I'm scared of is like, all right, a girl can, like, you know, me being pansexual, it's like a girl, okay, she can satisfy me in different ways, but like a man's energy is a lot different. So it's kind of just like, I feel like it'll be tougher to like use that time like within all these girls, you know?
Yeah, because like, yeah, I know, I feel you, because now there's plenty of female energy, but I'm the only man, so it's like, that's just getting divided up more. That's what you mean?
Yeah. What have you learned from me that changed you?
What I'm going to learn after we're able to connect the dots and see what happens is if it's, I guess it's not even anything to learn, but it's just like it's just going through this lesson again of like, you know, people have certain potential, but not everybody lives up to their potential. So how much time do you invest into somebody before you waste it enough, you know? Yeah. So it's like, what I would love to learn is that I'm just waiting. Like, I feel like we're on the cusp of it. Like, I'm waiting for you to just have that breakthrough moment where it's like, damn, this is like who I am now. And you just shed off that old skin. And I can be happy and confident in the fact that, like, not only in my ability to help somebody develop themselves, but also in just a sense of knowing that if you see that light in somebody, if you see them for what they can be and you show it to them, like, they'll work for it themselves.
I knew that was going to be your answer, because every time, like, if we'll talk about something, even if it's like the silly like video you want to do, it's like, I'll bring up an idea and it's like, I can envision it in my head, and as soon as I tell you, I know you can envision it too, and you're just like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, you get like that, like your friend, like every time like something happens, he's like, yeah, like, you know, so yeah, I can see that.
When do you feel the sexiest around me, and what did it teach you about yourself?
I guess it's when I started feeling more comfortable with you. It's like, from a female's perspective, like every time she tries to get to know a guy, like she's always like shaving, making sure she's like super clean and looks good, and it's just like, that was so quick to change in our relationship. Like, you know, I had my, like, you know me, like sometimes I'll grow out my leg hair, my armpit hair, and like not care about it. So it's kind of just like, once I started feeling comfortable with you and you still loved me, it's just like, that made me, I don't know, just bought out like, fuck yeah, like I'm sexy, he's attracted to me. Why do you love me?
I love you, Pam, because when everything is good, it's ecstasy. Everything is perfect. Like on every level, obviously, you're being nasty thinking sexual, but like no, like everything, we vibe perfectly. Like that's what I'm saying is when I say that we're similar, is that we are like, I would say that we're on the same fucking train, just we're looking at it from the wrong side of the track. Like once we get fully aligned, everything's gonna be amazing between us. So I see you kind of like a premature version of myself, and it's just like we're so similar. So I feel like we're gonna kind of be like the same person, and it's gonna be like, right now we're like fires that are like just making each other worse and burning each other's village down or whatever, but like we're gonna be like an unstoppable force and be able to create everything that we both have in our minds. Like I love when we talk about these ideas, and it's like, I don't know, you just help me be more myself. Like pre-grounds me when I need grounding, but you help me go faster in the direction I'm already going. I love it.
Yeah.
But answer that too.
Mine is like in the same way because of the way that you push me. Because it's like, you know, like I know like you do have your moments where you're kind of just like, all right, how much more like of this can I take? But it's like you still push me. Yeah.
And I honestly really do that for you. I mean, I know you know that. Because if it was for me, I would be like, fuck this, let's go. But I feel like you're like right there, and it's just gonna be so beautiful to see. And it's gonna be good.
Hey guys, it's Melanie from The Skin Deep. Thank you so much for watching. I'm currently on the set of The End, and if you want to support our videos and help us make more, please check out our link on Patreon. And if you want to watch more videos, check it out below.